Calaroga Shark Media.
Finally home, Johnny Mac with your daily comedy news. Let's start on Gossip Corner. The Daily Mail reports Chris Rock ran out in the middle of a surprise comedy set at a billionaire's holiday party. Must be nice to be Chris Rock and that billionaire. According to the Mail, Rock was upset by being videotaped, so he stormed out minutes after taking the stage. Rock was hired by Anthony Pratt for the party, attended by many, quote, uber-wealthy Australians down at the Mandarin Oriental. Comedian Wally Collins and country singer Keith Urban were also hired to perform at the party, but in between their sets, Chris Rock surprised the crowd. Rock took the stage in casual attire and joked, "Our new push will be outer space. We'll put all the Mexicans on the rockets." I'm sure he told it better. It's not a particularly great joke. New York Post gossip columnist Cindy Adams, who has to be 134 years old at this point, said, she's been around forever and was old when I was a kid. How old is Cindy Adams? 94. According to Cindy Adams, the quote here is, "He saw something the audience did not," before abruptly ending his, quote, very short set. Whatever he saw or thought he saw upset him, like he went momentarily ape and shouted something. Does the 94-year-old woman use ape, or is somebody ghostwriting this? Like he went momentarily ape and shouted something like he wasn't supposed to be videotaped, reported, or whatever else wasn't supposed to happen. Rock didn't complain, didn't explain, didn't do one more minute, and is said to have barreled quickly, forcefully through people to the exit doors. He kept complaining loudly and without a second's hesitation stormed out, never to return. Bill Burr on his podcast talked about the murder of the head of United Healthcare. I went to pull the audio here, but Burr drops a lot of F-bombs, so let me read you what he said. I was sitting there reading an article, and the guy was like, "Oh my God, he's such a great guy. He had a wife and kids. He's such a great guy." And then you find out he and the other guys he's working for are getting sued for like $121 million for dumping a stock and not letting the other people know. It's like, there's your motive. They're gangsters, dude, effing gangsters. And then when one of them gets whacked or something like, "Oh my God, he's such a good guy. It's a dirty game. Healthcare, dirty game." Why is there this level of coverage? Somebody gets gunned down in New York every effing day, and now all of a sudden these experts have to weigh in? That's because of the status. We can't have white guys in suits getting whacked. Speaking of Bill Burr, Smashing Pumpkins frontman Billy Corgan is claiming there's a chance Bill Burr is his half-brother. Billy was on Howie Mandel's podcast and told a story. So about 10 years ago, one of my brothers was having a birthday party, and my stepmother was there. And my stepmother said to me, "Do you know who Bill Burr is?" Now, at that point, I had never heard of Bill Burr. I didn't know who he was. I didn't know he was a comedian or anything. He could have been the guy down the street. Stepmom shows Corgan a picture of Bill Burr. Says, "I kind of noticed right away, gee, he looks like my father. Bill Burr looks more like my father than Bill Burr looks like me, or I look like Bill Burr." Stepmom says, "I think he might be one of your father's illegitimate children. Bill Burr might be one of the children that your father sired in his days of being a traveling musician." It's a true story. I'm not making this up. There's no joke in that. This is a true story. I've never told this anywhere, honestly. And again, I didn't know Bill was a famous comedian. He could have been a guy that's working down the street at the Whack Factory in Chicago. I had no idea who he was. None, zero. And then the stepmom goes, "I think there's 12 total." Well, he was a traveling musician. Corgan adds, "It's my belief at this point, because I've sat on the story for 10 years, that I don't think Bill Burr and I are related. Just one of those things. There are people in the world that look alike." Now, I was really upset here. I was Googling Bill Burr parents, and I scrolled down, and I see on Google, Burr's father died when he was only 1 year old, and his mother died the following year. Burr became an orphan at the age of 2 years old. I had no idea about Bill Burr. Oh, no. That's Aaron Burr, the guy from Hamilton. Bill's father, Robert Burr, was a prominent dentist who immigrated from Ireland. Whatever, I'm moving on. The Golden Globes nominations are out. This year's host, Nikki Glaser. We've got some categories here for best performance by an actor or actress in a motion picture, musical, or comedy, but they're not really what we talk about here, so I'll skip those. Best TV series, musical, or comedy: Abbott, The Bear, The Gentleman, Hacks, Nobody Wants This, Only Murders. Again, if you think The Bear is actually a comedy, you should have your head examined. Best stand-up comedian on television. Interesting category. Jamie Foxx for What Had Happened Was, which is out today. Nikki Glaser's Someday You'll Die. Seth Meyers for Dead Man Walking. Adam Sandler, Love You. Ali Wong for Single Lady. And Rami Youssef, More Feelings. Now, I haven't seen Foxx yet, so putting that aside, if I had to pick from the other five, I'm going to pick, now buckle up, you're going to be stunned by this. I would pick, out of those five, Adam Sandler. And I've been known not to be a fan of Adam Sandler's comedy, but out of those five, Adam Sandler. Jamie Foxx is out on Netflix today. It is his special What Had Happened Was. I'm sure we'll be recapping that a lot in the next few days. I don't know if I'll get to it tonight. The Indiana Jones video game came out, and I thought I was going to play it Sunday morning, and I thought I had preloaded the game, and then Xbox was like, yeah, this is going to take 5 hours to download, and I haven't gotten to play it yet, so that might be my Tuesday night. Maybe I'll wait for Jamie and Fortune and watch them back-to-back on the weekend. Back to Gossip Corner, page 6 reports that Jamie partied past 4 a.m. in Miami. Seen at Mega Club E11 on Sunday. Jamie was spotted dancing at his ultra VIP table in the club's party pit, surrounded by A-listers. No word on who those A-listers are. One witness said Jamie was just vibing to the music and seemed to be having the best time. He was standing on the banquette of his table and definitely didn't mind being seen. The crowd went wild when Gold Digger came on, and Jamie was nodding along to the music and interacting with fans. Says another source, his energy was unreal. Page 6 is told Jamie arrived at 3 a.m. and stayed until dawn to take in Lil Wayne's headlining performance. Wayne didn't go on until 4:30. Strangely enough, and not lying to you, I've been at a Jamie Foxx party or two, and all that sounds right on. He tends to have his little area, tends to interact with fans, tends to be very pleasant. Has a beverage or two, dances. Because he's there, they always play Gold Digger. That was his hit song. And, cool guy in all senses of the word. KABC reports Jamie visited Capitol Hill last Wednesday lobbying for a bill that would increase funding for Down syndrome research in honor of his late sister. Deandra Dixon had Down syndrome. She passed away at the age of 36 in October of 2020. Fox told reporters, my sister was a big part of my life. She lived an incredible life. People like Deandra need help. It feels really good to talk about a bill that would be in my sister's name to continue her legacy. And I know she's looking down like, yeah, man, that's what it's all about. Having been around that camp, that is not hogwash. That is not something you just say to the papers. He clearly did care about his sister. His sister clearly was a big part of his life. He would have his sister around. None of that is fake, phony Hollywood stuff. I applaud you, Jamie Foxx. The legislation passed the House in September, and it still needs Senate approval and the president's signature. You can tell I only have good things to say about Jamie Foxx, right? Yep. Looking forward to watching the special. Maybe not tonight because of Indiana Jones. Saturday Night Live, Paul Mescal was a good host. I really liked the Gladiator 2 as a musical sketch. There's a 3.5-minute cut of that floating around the internet if you haven't seen it yet. I still don't understand, again, Lorne Michaels, Hall of Famer, me, dope in a basement. I don't understand what we're doing with Dana Carvey. Why are we opening SNL in 2024 with Dana Carvey doing the church lady and having David Spade on? You have a cast, use them. You can kind of hear my voice isn't all the way back yet, right? Yeah, it's this thing is lingering, man. Variety held a thing called a night in the writer's room. One of the writers that was there was Bill Lawrence. Lawrence said there's absolutely a line between comedy and drama should not enter into comedy, and it has. There's a lot of shows that are not particularly funny. And then he drifted off and didn't name names, but I will. The Bear. Lawrence said, look, there's some dramas that are funny, man. I wouldn't blink twice if Succession won the Emmy for Best Comedy. That show was effing funny. It was so darkly funny. I thought it was hysterical, but I thought it was hysterical because it had jokes. And I think you could do any type of show that has pathos and drama and emotion and call it a drama if you want. But I think to call it a comedy, you better be joke forward and arguably have some big, serious laughs, or at least be attempting in every shot. The Bear. Lawrence said when he was first pitching Scrubs, which if you missed over the weekend, he's working on a reboot of it. The president of one of the major networks said, I don't think you can do broad, silly comedy and then switch gears and have people give a crap about whether or not a patient is living or dying. Lawrence said he fired back, I think you can if you turn the lights down and play an indie song. The executive didn't find that funny at all. Scrubs, I think, is proof that you can. Also, there was the show MASH. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that one. Apparently, Ellen is having a hard time adjusting in the UK. You see, Ellen's got a Land Rover Defender, but it's so wide they can't drive it in their new village, according to the Daily Mail. The newspaper said it's a crying shame as their local pub is just 400 meters away, because Ellen was going to hang out at the pub, sure. On the other side of a width restrictor and a width restricted bridge, both said it's 6 feet 6 inches. Ellen's car is 5'10", which would mean squeaking through with a mere 4 inches to spare on each side. Charlemagne the God has stuck up for Andrew Schulz. The internet continues to criticize Andrew over his alleged anti-black jokes. Charlemagne said, I agree. If you're a comedian, you have the license to make jokes about any and everybody. Since when do we police comedians? And by the way, if you don't like the jokes, you have every right to say it. You can rap about it. You can protest about it. You can be offended. You can tweet about it. You can do all that stuff. New York comedian Derek Gaines tapes his next special. 2 shows at The Stand tonight in New York City. Melissa Villasenor threaded my special Welp What Now will be out on New Year's Day on YouTube. Hope you enjoy. And that is your comedy news for today. If you like the program, tell a friend about it. They might enjoy it too. If you would like the program without commercial interruption, there's a link in the show notes that'll tell you how that all works. Short version, $5 a month. Commercials go away. Do it. See you tomorrow.